black. The story from the project, innocent black man. Let me be clear, damn man. The story from the project, innocent black man.
What up, YouTube? Welcome back to the Small Account Challenge. Today is day number 137. In the pre-market, I saw SPY had gapped up just enough to get my attention, so I knew when the market opened how to play my cards right. And as I always do with this small account, try to get some nice base hits, and I was able to do that right from the open. I'm telling you exactly how we pulled off a nice one. And today's midday market recap. Finally answering the question that many people who have subscribed to this channel have asked me: do I give training for these small account stuff? And I'm going to be starting that. First, I need to see if there's real interest in it. So in the comment section below, put the word interested, and then I know if people are really interested, because I know there are traders who don't have a lot of money and they would like to learn how to grow their small amount of money into a large amount of money and then take it on their own. Anyway, that's what I'm speaking to. All right, y'all, let's go over the trades from this morning. Only got into 3 trades because I really didn't need to do too much after the first and third trade, because they really got us. I won't even call it a base hit. It was like a triple or a double, pretty much, with these wins on this one. All right, y'all, let's go. Here we go. Let's pull the charts up. All right, here we go. The candle that starts the market at 9:30 is a red candle, so you know I'm watching that bad boy. The bears are in control, but not heavy, but enough that it ain't a green candle. All right, the very next candle opens up 9:30, closes at 9:35. I'm watching it. I get an upper wick and a lower wick. So you know what my next order of business of the day is? Set my intraday key levels. Right, I set the upper level and the lower level. So now I don't take no trades unless I see the market go above or below that, and it's a confident going above or confident going below. Then I'm able to make my move. All right, cool. On the next candle, opens up 35, closes at 40. I do get some downward pressure, but it doesn't break the lower key level, so no trade for me. I just keep watching. The very next candle opens up 40, closes at 45. We get a bounce going up to the upper key level. It breaks the upper key level, but it wasn't confident to me, because it came down from where it came from was kind of too far. So there's a lot of buying. By that time, it's almost time for profit taking. So I didn't take that trade, and because it ran into another key level right above that when I was ready on my chart, which is a daily key level, it started to reverse. I said, all right. On that reverse, I jumped in on the reverse. On the very next candle, I jumped in at 9:46 in 3 seconds because I felt that it wasn't strong enough going up, and I was absolutely right on that reverse. Thank God for the key level. It starts going down. I ride that bad boy down on a smackdown. I mean, heavy downward pressure, and we was able to get out at 9:49 in 36 seconds. Boom! That was a double. I would call that a triple in terms of base hits, because that one bought us about $26 on the day from the open. You know, pretty much I can stop trading with that. You know, this is a small account, and that's my strategy. Helping people get base hits. We don't gotta get the major home runs. Base hits every day. Somebody was putting $20 in my pocket every day. I mean, for 280 days a year, I'm good with that. And sometimes they give me 50, sometimes they give me $75, sometimes they may take $20 out, but whatever. If I keep getting 25, 35, 45, that bad boy start to add up, and then I get more and more buying power. That's why I love this strategy. I love the base hit strategy. All right, y'all, on to the next trade. This one we lost on. All right, here we go. This one was to the upside. The first trade was to the downside. I've got to mention that. This one was to the upside. We jumped into this one at 10:28 and 52 seconds. All right, after that trade, now I'm waiting around for a very good entry. The candle we got out of, which was the 950 candle. All right, the very next candle opens up 55. Opens up 50, closes at 55. Now we're sitting in between my upper and lower key levels. So no trade. We're waiting. The very next candle opens up 55, closes at 10 o'clock. It breaks the upper key level, but like I said, I'm already sitting green on the day, so I need a confident move to really get me to jump in. I'm like, all right, cool. Let's just sit around and wait a while. So we don't get into a trade until, like I said, 10:28. So from 10 o'clock all the way to about 10:25, when that candle closes, it starts to consolidate. So really, it's sitting above the key level, but it's kind of going up and down in the range. So I'm just watching it. All right, cool. On the very next candle, the one that opens up at 25, closes at 30. I want this to the upside. I'm thinking now we about to break out of that consolidation and squeeze up. I jump in at 10:28 and it stalls on me. The candle closes at 10:30. The very next candle opens up 30, closes at 35. We start getting downward pressure. I'm like, oh man. But what I do, try to bring down the cost basis. After the candle closes at 10:35, I add a contract at 10:36. Brought down the cost basis. I'm like, all right, cool. And we don't, on the very next candle, when it opens up 35, closes at 40, we don't get enough buying pressure. And it begins to fade back down. I'm like, now I got the two contracts. I'm like, oh man, this thing is going against me. And the very next candle opens up 40, closes at 45. We get downward pressure, and it's just too much because the very next candle, it's a heavy pressure. And I jump out quick, fast with both contracts, and I gave back most of the profits from the first trade, which was down. Now we up about $6 or $7 on the day. I'm like, oh man. But it's alright, dude. Like I said, as long as we do not let the market dictate when it's time to get in and get out in terms of once we're in the trade. Like I said, once you're in, he's going against you, guardrails get you out. Boom. Pretty much. That's what happened. That's what happened on that trade. Like I said, I had the guardrails spread wide enough where, like I said, it went when it went against me. That was it. Popped us out. It's all right. Then the very next trade got it all back and then some. And that was the last trade of the day. This one was at 10:49 to the downside. All right, cool. Here we go. After we lost on the 10:45 candle, I said, you know what, this thing going down. So on the very next candle, I immediately jumped in 10:49 on that downward pressure. I noticed that we came down to my upper key level, but now my upper key level is not acting like resistance, is acting like support. Is it going to hold? I don't think so, because that candle was a strong candle. On the very next candle, the one that opens up 50, closes at 55. I'm watching this bad boy. I'm already in at 10:49. This bad boy starts squeezing down. It breaks the upper key level. I add at 10:49 and 57 seconds. Now I got two contracts. It's still going down. I add another contract at 10:50 and 39 seconds. Now I got three contracts, and we get heavy downward pressure. I'm like heavy downward pressure, and I sell my position as it breaks the lower key level at 10:52:08 before the candle closed. I was going to chance it, and we was able to get back all that we had lost in the second trade and then some. When I say this was pretty much a triple in terms of almost an infield home run. This was, I would call it that, an infield home run on this one. We was able, and that's how we finished the day. You can see it there. Boom. There you go. Know what I mean? I love base hits, and I love small accounts. The other day, I was watching a YouTuber who was also doing the small account challenge, and their account, they pretty much had blown their account up. They started with like $1,000, and it had dwindled down to about $200. And they had mentioned that they were going to add more money to their account. I did not like that idea, because when you're growing a small account, you have to have a profitable strategy. If the account is dwindling, it's only proven a couple of things. Either you're being eaten up by fees, which can be a killer in day trading. This is why I only use a cash account. Or your day trading strategy is literally not working where it should work, and you need to grow the account from where it is. That's when you know you have a good strategy. This is why, like I said, when I was getting ready to stop this whole challenge, when I got the account to 23 and it fell back down to about 18, 17, when somebody said go back to the original strategy that you grew it, I said let's see if that strategy is still in play and it's a profitable strategy, and took the account all the way back to 2,300. That's when I knew that is a profitable strategy and there's no need to add no more money. So anyway, like I said, you got to be careful when you're trading a small account. if you're losing money, it's because the strategy's not there yet, and you have to grow it from small. That's why I want to teach people how to grow it from $100. Why? Because once you can grow it, it don't matter where you go. Once you got more money in there, it'll keep growing, and it'll never go back down. Why? Because you have tools in place to prevent that. Anyway, y'all, that's all I got for you today. We'll be back at this tomorrow for day number 138. All right, y'all, peace.